Valley Center Playhouse.
Excuse me, sir. Could you tell me where I might find Yum Yum, the ward of Cocoa?
Why, who are you that asks this question?
Sit a moment and I'll tell you. A wandering minstrel I, a being of shreds and patches, of ballad songs and snatches, and dreamy lullabies. My catalogue is long through every passion raging, and to your humors changing, I tune my supple song. I tune my supple song.
I'm sorry, were you singing something?
A wandering minstrel I, a thing of shreds and patches, of ballad songs and snatches, and dreamy lullabies, and dreamy lullaby.
What may be your business with Yum Yum?
I'll tell you. A year ago, I was a member of the Titty Poo Town Band, and it was my responsibility to bring the cap around for contributions. And while discharging this delicate office, there I saw her, Yum Yum. We loved each other at once, of course, but alas, she was engaged to her guardian Coco, a cheap tailor, and I saw that my suit was hopeless. In despair, I quit the town, but judge my delight when a month ago I found that Coco was to be beheaded for flirting. So I rushed here immediately to profess my love to Yum Yum.
It is true that Coco was condemned to death for flirting, but he was pardoned at the last moment and raised to the exalted rank of Lord High Executioner.
Coco, the cheap tailor? Lord High Executioner? Why, that's the highest rank a citizen can attain. But how good of you to condescend to tell me these things, a mere wandering minstrel.
Don't mention it. I am in point of fact a particularly haughty and exclusive person. I can't help it. I was born sneering. But I struggle hard to overcome this defect. I mortify my pride continually. When all the great officers of state resigned in a body because they were too proud to serve under an ex-tailor, I unhesitatingly accepted all their jobs at once. Consequently, it is my degrading duty to serve this upstart as First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chief Justice, Commander-in-Chief, Lord High Admiral, Master of the Buckhounds, Groom of the Backstairs, Archbishop of Titty Poo, and Lord Mayor all rolled into one. And as salary. It revolts me, but I do it.
And it does you credit.
But I don't stop at that. I go and dine with middle-class people on reasonable terms. I dance at cheap local parties for a moderate fee. I also accept refreshments at any hand, however lowly. And I also retail state secrets for a very low figure. For instance, any further information about Yum Yum comes under the head of state secret. Another insult, and I think a light one.
Yeah.
Young man, despair. Yum Yum the fair you must not woo. It will not do. I'm sorry for you. Oh yes, today she'll toddle away with the Lord High Executioner.
And I have traveled for a month or so to find that Yum Yum, who I love so much, is to be married today to Coco.
The fact appears as you recited. And here he comes, equipped to suits and station. He'll give you any further information.
Taken from the county jail by a set of curious chances, liberated then on bail, on my own recognized senses, wafted by a favoring gale, as one sometimes is in trances, to a height that few can scale, save by long and weary dances, surely never had a male, under such like circumstances, so adventurous a tale, which might rank with most romances, taken from the county jail, by a set of curious chances, surely never had a male so adventurous a tale. Gentlemen, I am touched by this reception. I can only hope that by strict attention to duty, I may continue to enjoy such favors, which shall ever be my duty to deserve. Yes. And if I am ever called upon to act professionally, I am happy to know that I shall have no difficulty finding plenty of people whose deaths would be a distinct gain to society as a whole. As one day it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground, and who never would be missed, no, never would be missed. There's interior designers, window dressers, and that sort. Bank robbers who retire to Spain the minute they get caught, and those who have their noses pierced, and men who dye their hair. Poor idiots who disc jockeys everywhere, and customs men who fumbling through your underwear insist that none of them be missed, no, none of them be missed. There's the people with pretentious names like Justin, Trish, and Rolf, and the gynecologist. I've got him on the list. Muggers, joggers, buggers, bloggers, people who play golf. Then none of them be missed, none of them be missed. All waitresses who make you wait, accountants of all kinds, and actresses who kiss and tell and wiggle their behinds, and nasty little editors and their own little bits. They lift you up in covers and they never fill them bits. But anyway, I think by now you must have got the gist. Then none of them be missed, no, none of them be missed. Yes. There's the beggars who write letters from Internal Revenue, and the gossip columnist, I've got him on the list. Comedians and weightlifters and opera singers too, they'd none of them be missed, no, none of them be missed. All traffic wardens, bankers, men who sell Venetian blinds, old people who wear silly ties, yes, and suspenders of all kinds, and nasty little editors whose papers are the pits. who fill the ranks with gossip and unsavory tidbits. But anyway, I think by now you must have got the gist. They'd none of them be missed. No, none of them be missed. Oh.
That's right, there none of them be missed.
Yes. It seems that the festivities that are to accompany my approaching marriage are to last for a week. And I want to do it up handsomely, and I need your advice on how much I should spend.
Certainly, in which of my capacities as First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chamberlain, Attorney General, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Privy Purse, or Private Secretary?
Well, shall we say as private secretary?
Speaking as your private secretary, I should say that as the city will have to pay for it, don't stand to do it well.
Exactly, as the city will have to pay for it. Good advice.
As private secretary. Of course, you will understand that as Chancellor of the Exchequer, I am bound to see that due economy is observed.
Yes, I see. Well then, come over here where the Chancellor can't hear us. Now, as my solicitor, how do you advise me to deal with this difficulty?
Oh, as your solicitor, I should have no hesitation in saying chance it.
Thank you, I will.
If it were not that as Lord Chief Justice, I am bound to see that the law isn't violated.
I see. Then come over here where the Chief Justice can't hear us. Now, as First Lord of the Treasury,
Of course, as First Lord of the Treasury, I could propose a special vote that would cover all expenses. If it were not that as leader of the opposition, it would be my duty to resist it tooth and nail. Or, as Paymaster General, I could so cook the accounts that as Lord High Auditor, I should never discover the fraud. But then as Archbishop of Titipu, it would be my duty to denounce my own dishonesty and give myself over into my own custody as First Commissioner of Police.
that is extremely awkward.
I'm not saying that all these distinguished people couldn't be squared, but it is right to tell you that they shouldn't be sufficiently degraded in their own estimation, unless they were insulted with a very considerable bribe.
Yes, the matter shall receive my careful consideration. Ah, my bride and her sisters arrive.
We little maids from school are we, hearts of schooner welcome me, pills to brim with girlish glee. 3 little maids from school, everything is a source of fun. Nobody's safe when we care for one. Life was a dream that's just begun. 3 little maids from school, 3 little maids who all unwear, we come from a lady's seven. 3 little genius to Larry. 3 little maids from school. 3 little maids from school.
At last, my little bride that is to be.
It's never you. I'm so glad. I've been to you for ever so long. And I'm at the top of the school and I've got 3 prizes and I've come home for good. I'm not going back anymore.
I beg your pardon, will you present me?
He's the gentleman who plays so beautifully on the Marine Parade. Yeah, I think that was the name of the instrument.
Sir, I have the misfortune of loving your ward Yum Yum. I know I deserve your anger.
Anger? Not a bit, my boy. I love her myself. Charming little girl, isn't she? Lovely hair, beautiful eyes. Taking the little thing as a whole, that is. And I'm glad to know that my opinion is backed by competent authority. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
I beg your pardon, but what is this?
Go away, little girl, go away. Can't talk to little girls like you. I speak to no one under the rank of stockbroker.
Don't laugh at him. He's under treatment for it. Never mind them. They don't understand the delicacy of your position. Let's be off.
Yum, at last you're alone. I've been seeking you night and day for 2 weeks, believing that your guardian had been beheaded for flirting. But now I find that you're to be wed to him today.
Alas, yes.
But you do not love him.
Alas, no.
Then why do you not refuse him?
What good would that do? He's my guardian and he wouldn't marry you.
Aw, but I'd wait till you were of age.
Besides, a wandering minstrel who plays a stringed instrument outside tea houses is hardly a fitting husband for the ward of the Lord High Executioner.
And what if I could prove to you that I was none other than the son of His Majesty, the Mikado?
Son of the Mikado?
Yes, listen. Some time ago, I had the misfortune of catching the attention of Kadisha, an elderly, crusty old woman of my father's court. My father ordered me to marry her at once or perish on the scaffold. That night, I fled my father's court, assuming the disguise of a second trombone. And that's when I joined the band, in which I had the great pleasure of meeting you.
If you please, I think that your highness had better not come too near. The laws against flirting are excessively severe.
But no one's around. No one could see us.
So that doesn't make it right. To flirt is illegal, and we must obey the law.
Oh yes. If it were not for the law, how happy we might be.
Happy indeed.
If it were not for the law, we should now be sitting side by side like that.
Instead of being obliged to sit half a mile off like that.
Or we would have our arms around each other's waists like that.
Yes, if it were not for the law. As it is, of course, we couldn't do anything of the kind.
Not for worlds. If were you not too cocoa-plighted, I would say in tender tone, loved one, let us be united. Let us be each other's own. I would merge our rank and station. Worldly cares are not to us. And as a mark of my admiration, I would kiss you fondly thus.
You would kiss me fondly thus.
There she goes, my future happiness.
I am the bearer of a letter from His Majesty, the Mikado.
A letter from the Mikado? Yes. I expected this. He has decreed that unless someone is beheaded within 1 month, the post of Lord High Executioner will be abolished and the city reduced to the rank of a village. I shall have to execute someone. The question is, who shall it be?
Well, it seems unkind to say so, but since you are already under the sentence of death for flirting, everything does seem to point to you.
To me? Why, that's nonsense.
Well then, why not find a substitute?
A substitute? Of course. Nothing easier. Poobah! I appoint you Lord High Substitute.
Well, why, I should like it above all things. Such an appointment would realize my fondest dreams. But no, at any sacrifice, I must set bounds to my insatiable ambitions.
Why, this is simply appalling. I am to die within a month? Is this public gratitude? Is this... Go away, sir! How dare you? Am I never permitted to soliloquize?
Oh, don't mind me. Go right on ahead.
What are you going to do with that rope?
I'm going to end my existence.
What for?
Because you are about to marry the girl I love.
Are you cold-blooded scoundrel? Are you not aware that in killing yourself you commit a crime? Which... Oh. Is it absolutely certain that you are resolved to die? Yes, I see. But if you really mean what you say, if you're absolutely resolved to die, if nothing whatever could shake your determination, then don't spoil it by committing suicide, but rather be beheaded handsomely at the hands of the public executioner. Observe. You will have a month to live, and you will live like a king at my expense. And when the day comes, There'll be a grand public ceremonial, and you will be the central figure. No one will attempt to deprive you of that distinction. There'll be a grand procession, bands playing, marching, bells tolling, all the girls in tears, and Yum Yum distracted. And then when it's over, general rejoicings, and a fireworks display in the evening. Of course, you won't see them, but they'll be there all the same.
I'll tell you how we'll manage it. You let me marry Yum Yum, and then in a month you may behead me, and then you may marry Yum Yum.
Dear me, I agree. After all, it will only delay my wedding by a month. But you won't prejudice her against me, will you? You see, I have educated her to be my wife. She's been taught to regard me as a good and wise man, and I wouldn't want that opinion disturbed.
Oh, don't worry. She'll never learn the truth from me.
Ask you what you mean to do. We punctually appear.
Congratulate me. I have found a volunteer. 'Tis Nanky Poo.
Hail, Nanky Poo. Yes, he'll do.
Go ahead, take her. She's yours.
May all good fortune prosper you. May you succeed in all you do.
Wait! I claim my prearranged lover, Nanky Poo.
Away, your intentional expressed you cannot turn us. For he's going to marry Yum Yum.
Yum Yum.
You're in very, very ordinary. I think you had better succumb.
Come.
Join our expressions of life. On this subject we pray for dumb.
Dum.
Why there are many who wait for a penny. The word for your guidance is none. There's lots of confusion to see. On this subject we pray you be dumb. We think you had better succumb. Come. You're going already. Wait for a penny. Wait for a penny. There are lots of good fish in the sea. There are lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish. Good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish. Good fish in the sea. In the sea. In the sea. In the sea. In the sea.
Oh, faithless one, this insult you shall rue. In vain for mercy on your knees you'll sue. No minstrel he, despite bravado. He is the son of your Mikado. Prepare for woe, ye haughty lords. For now I go Mikado words. And when he learns his son is found, my wrongs with vengeance will be crowned.
Yes, I am indeed beautiful. Sometimes I sit and wonder, in my artless Japanese way, why it is that I am so much more attractive than anybody else in the whole world. Can this be vanity? Oh, no. Nature is lovely and rejoices in her loveliness. I am a child of nature and took after my mother.
husband is to be beheaded in a month is, in its way, a drawback. It does seem to take the top off it, you know.
I don't know about that. It all depends.
In all events, he will find it a drawback.
Not necessarily. Bless you, it all depends.
I find it very indelicate of you to refer to such a subject on such a day. If my married happiness is to be
Cut short.
cut short in a month, can't you let me forget it?
Yum Yum in tears, and on her wedding morn.
It's been reminding me that in the month you're to be beheaded.
Yes, we were reminding her that you're to be beheaded.
Most husbands would find this sort of thing annoying. Let's not be downhearted. These divisions of time are purely arbitrary. I mean, who says 24 hours makes a day?
There's a popular impression to that effect.
Well, then we'll efface it. We'll make every second a minute, every minute an hour, every hour a day, every day a year. Why, at that rate, we've 30 years of married bliss ahead of us.
And at that rate, this interview has already lasted 4 hours and 3/4.
Yes, how time flies when one is thoroughly enjoying oneself.
That's the way to look at it. There is a silver lining to every cloud.
Certainly, let's be perfectly happy.
By all means, let's thoroughly enjoy ourselves.
It's absurd to cry.
Quite ridiculous. Brightly dawns our wedding day, joyous are we giving greeting, with the weather course the fleeting, take a moment, prithee stay.
Take a moment, prithee stay. Let us drive our ready tear, for the hours are softly creeping. Whither art thou weeping, till the sad sundown is near, till the sad sundown is near.
Go on, don't mind me.
Sorry, we must be distressing you.
Never mind, I've got to get used to it. But can we do it by degrees? You might begin by putting your arm around her waist. There, now let me get used to that first.
Would you like to retire? It must pain you to see us so affectionate together.
I must learn to bear it. Now if you would oblige me by allowing her head to rest upon your shoulder.
Like that?
Yes, much obliged. Now, if you would kiss her. Thank you. This is truly terrifying.
After all, it's only for a month.
There's no use deluding oneself with false hope.
What do you mean?
Oh, my child, my poor child. How do I break it to her? My little bride that was to have been.
Was to have been.
Yes, you shall never be mine.
I'm so glad.
You see, I have just ascertained that by Mikado's law, when a married man is beheaded, his wife must be buried alive.
Buried alive.
Buried alive. It's a most unpleasant death.
Now, where did you hear that from?
Pooh-Bah, he is my solicitor.
But you may have been mistaken.
And so thought I. And so I consulted the Attorney General, the Lord Chief Justice, the Master of the Rolls, the Judge Ordinary, and the Lord Chancellor. They were all of the same opinion. I have never known such unanimity on a point of law in all my life.
Oh, but this law's never been put into effect.
Not yet. You see, flirting is the only crime punishable by decapitation. Married men don't flirt.
I quite forgot. Oh. Well, it seems that my dream of happiness is at an end.
Darling, I don't want to appear selfish, and I love you with all my heart. I don't suppose I shall ever love anyone else half as much. But when I agreed to marry you, dear, I had no idea that I shall have to be buried alive in a month.
No, all right. It's the very first I've heard it.
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
You see, burial alive is such a stunning death.
I call it a beast of a death.
You see my difficulty, don't you?
I do. And I see my own. If I go ahead with my promise and am beheaded, then you are to be buried alive. But if I don't, then you marry Coco at once.
My poor boy, I feel so very sorry for you.
Oh, I can quite see that.
But I'm really quite helpless, you see.
I can see that as well.
I can't conceive of anything quite so distressing as to have one's marriage broken off at the last moment. But you shan't be disappointed of a wedding. You shall attend mine.
Oh, I'm very grateful for the invitation, but I'm afraid I will be unable to attend.
And why not?
Because I cannot live without Yum Yum. So I go now to end my existence. Where's my rope?
No, 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 no. Pardon me, but I can't allow that.
And why not?
Why, hang it all, you are under contract to die at the hands of the public executioner in a month. If you kill yourself, what will become of me? Why, I would have to be executed in your place.
It certainly seems so.
Yes, yes, Lord Mayor, what is it?
His Majesty, the Emperor,
What is it?
the Mikado and his suite are approaching the city and will be here in 10 minutes.
The Mikado is... He must be coming to see if I have carried out his orders. Now listen here. This is getting serious. A bargain is a bargain. You mustn't frustrate the ends of justice by committing suicide. As a man of honor, and as a gentleman, you are to die ignominiously at the hands of the public executioner.
Very well then, behead me.
What? Now?
Yes, it's just right here. It's quite simple, actually.
Chop it off! Chop it off!
My dear sir, I don't go about prepared to execute gentlemen at a moment's notice.
Still, as Lord
What?
High Executioner,
As Lord High Executioner, I am to execute him in a month. I'm not ready yet. I don't even know how it's done. I'm going to take lessons. I aim to begin with a guinea pig and work my way through the animal kingdom till I come to a second trombone. You don't suppose, as a humane man, I would have ever accepted the post of Lord High Executioner if I hadn't thought the duties were purely nominal. I can't kill you. I can't kill anything. I can't kill anybody! I can't do it!
Oh, come, fellow, bear up. I mean, if I don't mind, why should you? And it's got to be done sooner or later.
Must it? I'm not so sure about that.
What do you mean?
Well, why should I kill you when a simple affidavit that you've been executed will do just as well? And I have plenty of witnesses. I have the Lord Chief Justice, the Lord High Admiral, the Commander-in-Chief, the Secretary of State, First Lord of the Treasury, and even the Commissioner of Police.
Well, that's fine, but where are they?
They're right there. And they'll all swear to it, won't you?
am I to understand that all of us high officers of state are required to perjure ourselves to ensure your safety?
And why not? You'll be grossly insulted as usual.
Will the insult be cashed down or at a date?
A cash transaction.
Well, it will be a useful discipline. Very good. Choose your fiction and I'll endorse it. Ha ha! Family pride. How do you like that, my buck?
Oh, wait, life without Yum Yum.
Yum, 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 bother Yum Yum. Commissionare, would you go and fetch Yum Yum, and then you can take Yum Yum, and marry Yum Yum, go away with Yum Yum, and never return. Ah, Yum Yum, are you particularly busy at the moment? Do you have, say, 5 minutes to spare?
Yes.
Well, then go with His Grace, the Archbishop of Titipoo, and he will marry you at once.
But if I'm to be buried alive...
Don't ask questions. Just do as I say. Nanki Poo will explain all.
Okay, just one question I have.
Not another word. The Mikado is coming, no doubt to ascertain whether I have carried out his orders. And if he finds you here alive, I shall have the greatest difficulty persuading him that I have beheaded you. That is close. Here he comes.
As First Lord of Entertainment, Chancellor of Concessions, and Chief Manager of Facilities Engineering, I now invite you to take a 10-minute intermission. You may exit the auditorium using the northeast exit, that one over there, and there you will find the men's and ladies' lavatories. Continue on around the hall and you will find the concessions. Now please remember to be back in your seats before the second act begins. And remember to follow all directions correctly. It is very important because the Lord High Executioner may still be looking for a substitute.
By obstacle sublime, I shall achieve in time to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and let each prisoner pant, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, Obedience I expect from every woman and from every man, for I am the Emperor of Japan.
And I am his daughter-in-law, elect. He will marry his son. He has only one, to his daughter-in-law, elect.
Your Majesty, I am honored to welcome you. I guess the object of your visit. Your wishes have been carried out. The execution has taken place.
Oh, you've had an execution, have you?
Yes, the coroner just gave me the certificate.
Death certificate.
I'm the coroner.
At Titipu, in the presence of the Lord Chancellor, Lord Chief Justice, Attorney General, Secretary of State for the Home Department, Lord Mayor, and groom of the second floor front.
You're all present, Your Majesty. I counted them myself.
Very good house. I wish I'd been in time for the performance.
Yes, a tough fellow he was, too. A man of gigantic strength. His struggles were terrific.
Describe it.
It was a truly remarkable scene. The criminal cried as he dropped him down in a state of wild alarm. The frightful, frantic, fearful frown, I bared my big right arm. I seized him by his little pigtail, and on his knees fell he. As he squirmed and struggled and gurgled and guzzled, I drew my snicker sleeve, my snicker sleeve.
He shivered and shook as he gave the sign, the stroke he didn't deserve. When all of a sudden he sighed his mind, and he seemed to brace his nerve, for he nodded his head and he kissed his lips, and he stood on heavy knees. As the saints which whispered and pleaded through, he served the vertebrae, his vertebrae.
Now, though you'd have thought that head was dead, for its owner dead was he. It stood on his neck with a wide well red and bowed 3 times to me. It was none of your impudent offhand nods, but as humble as could be. For he clearly knew the deference due to a man of pedigree, a pedigree.
very interesting, and I should like to have seen it myself. But we came about a totally different matter. A year ago, my son, the heir to the throne of Japan, bolted from our imperial court.
Indeed, did he have any reason to be dissatisfied with his position?
Quite the contrary. I was going to marry him. And yet he fled.
I am surprised he should have fled for one so lovely.
That isn't true.
No?
You think that I am unattractive because my face is plain. But you know nothing. You are unenlightened. Know this, that it is not alone in the face where beauty is to be found. My face is unattractive.
It is.
But I have a left shoulder that is a miracle of loveliness. People come miles to see it. My right elbow has a fascination that few can resist.
Allow me.
It is on view Tuesdays and Fridays only upon presentation off a visiting card. As for my circulation, it is the largest in the world.
And yet he fled.
And is now masquerading in this town, disguised as a second trombone.
A second trombone?
Yes, a second trombone. Would it be troubling any of you too much to ask you to produce him? I believe that he goes by the name of
Nanky Poo.
Nanky Poo!
Yes, that would be quite easy. That is, it's rather difficult. You see, he's gone abroad.
Gone abroad? His address?
Knightsbridge.
What's the matter?
See here, his name. Nanky Poo beheaded this
Dear, this is very tiresome! My poor fellow, in your anxiety to carry out my wishes, you have beheaded the heir to the throne of Japan!
I beg to offer an unqualified apology.
I desire to associate myself with that expression of regret.
We really haven't the slightest notion.
Of course you couldn't. How could you? Don't distress yourself. I've no doubt that he thoroughly deserved all he got. Listen, if a man of exalted rank chooses to disguise himself as a second trombone, then he must take the consequences. I've no doubt. He thoroughly deserved all he got.
Your Majesty, we are infinitely obliged.
Much obliged, Your Majesty.
Very much obliged, Your Majesty.
Obliged? Not a bit. Don't mention it, but how could you tell?
No, of course, we couldn't tell who the gentleman really was.
It wasn't written on his forehead or anything.
It might have been written on his pocket handkerchief. But Japanese don't use pocket handkerchiefs.
Ha ha ha! I forget the punishment for compassing the death of the heir apparent. Something lingering with boiling oil. I think so. I think it's something of that sort. I know it's lingering. I know it's humorous. Boiling oil and melted lead. Come, don't fret. I'm not the least bit angry.
Oh, Your Majesty, if you'd accept our assurance, we had no idea.
I knew nothing of it.
I wasn't there.
That's the pathetic part of it. Unfortunately, the fool of an act says, compassing the death of the heir apparent. There's not a word about a mistake.
No.
Or not knowing.
No.
Or having no notion. Or not being there. There should be, of course.
Yes.
But there isn't. That's the slovenly way in which these acts are always cheer up. It'll be all right. I'll have the law altered. Next session. Now, let's see about your execution. Would after luncheon suit you? Can you wait until then?
Yes, we can wait till then.
Then we'll make it after luncheon.
But I don't want any lunch.
You know, I feel very sorry for you all, but it is an unjust world, and virtue is triumphant only in theatrical performances.
It's a fine mess you got us into. Your nodding head and a deference due to a man of pedigree.
Merely cooperative detail intended to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise bald and unconvincing narrative.
Corroborative detail indeed. Corroborative fiddlestick.
And you're just as bad with your cock and bull story about catching his eye and whistling there. But you're always putting in your oar.
How about your big right arm?
Yes, and your snickersnee.
Yes, never mind that. There's only one thing to be done. Nanky-Poo hasn't left yet. He must come back to life immediately. And there he is. Nanky-Poo, good news. You've been reprieved.
Oh, but it's too late. I'm a dead man, and I'm off for my honeymoon.
Nonsense! Something terrible has just happened. It seems that you are the son of the Mikado.
Oh, but that happened quite some time ago.
This is no time for airy banter. Your father is here, and with Kadisha.
My father and with Kadisha?
And he particularly wants to see you.
So does she.
Oh, he's married now.
Bless my heart. What does that have to do with anything?
Well, you see, it's like this. Kadisha claims me in marriage, but I can't marry her because I'm married already. But consequently, she will insist on my execution, and that means you'll have to be buried alive.
See our difficulty.
Yes, and I'm not quite sure what's to be done.
There is a chance for you. If you could convince Kadisha to marry you, then she'd have no more claim on me, and I could come back alive without any fear of being put to death.
I marry Kadisha?
I think it's the only course.
My dear girl, have you seen her? Why, she is something appalling.
Ah, yes, but that's just her face. She has that, right? She has an elbow that people come from miles to see.
Oh, and I'm told that her right heel is much admired by connoisseurs.
My good sir, I refuse to pin my heart on some lady's right heel.
You see, it's like this. As long as Kadisha is single, I prefer to be a disembodied spirit. When Kadisha is married, existence will be as welcome as the flowers that bloom in the spring. The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, breathe promise of merry sunshine. As we merrily dance and we sing, tra-la, we welcome the hope that they bring, tra-la, of a summer of roses and wine, of a summer of roses and wine. And that's what we mean when we say that a thing is welcome as flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring.
The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, have nothing to do with this case. I've got to take under my wing, tra-la, a most unattractive old thing, tra-la, with a caricature of a face, with a caricature of a face. And that's what I mean when I say what I sing. Oh, bother the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. Oh, bother the flowers of spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la.
Alone, yet alive. Oh, sepulchre. My spirit is still my body's prisoner. Remote the peace that death alone can give. My doom to wait, my punishment to Hearts do not break, they sting and ache, for old love's sake, but do not die. Though with each breath they long for death, as witnesseth the living eye, the living eye, the living eye. Come tell me why, when hope is gone, dost thou stay on? Why linger here where all is drear? Oh, living eye, come tell me why, when hope is gone, dost thou stay on? Cannot a cheated maiden die? Cannot a cheated maiden die?
Atisha?
The miscreant who robbed me of my love. But vengeance pursues, they are heating the cauldron.
Oh, Katisha, behold a suppliant at your feet. Katisha, mercy.
Mercy? Have you mercy on him? See here, you have slain my love. He did not love me, yet. He would have loved me in time. I am an acquired taste. It takes an educated palate to appreciate me. I was educating his palate when he left me. But he is dead. And where shall I find another? It takes years to train a man to love me. Am I to go through the whole weary round over again in the meanwhile, asking for mercy for you who have robbed me of my prey?
I mean, my pupil.
Justice's education was nearly completed. Oh, where shall I find another?
Here. Here.
What?
Katisha, for years I have loved you with a white-hot passion, and slowly but surely consuming my very vitals. Shrink not from me. If there is aught of woman's mercy in your heart, turn not away from a love-sick suppliant whose every fiber thrills at your tiniest touch. True it is that under a poor mask of disgust, I endeavor to conceal the passion that burns within me. The fire will not be smothered. It defies all attempts at extinction, and breaking forth, all the more eagerly for its long restraint, it declares itself in words that will not be schooled, that will not be weighed, that cannot be too severely criticized. Oh, Katisha, I dare not hope for your love. But I will not live without it. Darling.
You, whose hands still reek with the blood of my betrothed, dare to address words of passion to the woman you have so foully wronged?
I do, except of my love, or I perish on the spot.
Oh, go to. Who knows better than I that no one ever yet died of a broken heart?
You know not what you say. Listen. On a tree by a river, a little tomtit sang willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And I said to him, Diggy bird, why do you sit singing willow, tit, willow? Is it weakness of intellect, birdie, I cried, or a rather tough worm in your little chest as he sat on that bough, singing willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And a cold perspiration bespangled his brow. Oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. He sobbed and he sighed, and a gurgle he gave. Then he plunged himself into the billowing wave, and an echo arose from the suicide's grave. Oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. Now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name isn't willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. That was blighted affection that made him exclaim, oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And if you remain callous and obstinate, I shall perish as he did, and you will know why. Though I probably shall not exclaim as I die. Oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow.
Did you really die of a broken heart?
You really did.
All on account of a cruel little hen?
Yes.
Poor little chap.
It's an affecting tale, but quite true. I knew the little bird intimately.
You did? He must have been extremely fond of her.
Yes, his devotion was something quite extraordinary.
Poor little chap. And if I refuse you, you will go and do the same?
At once.
Oh, no, you mustn't. No, no, anything but that. Oh, I am a silly little goose.
Yes, you are.
But do you promise that you won't hate me just because I'm a tiny little bit bloodthirsty?
Hate you? Oh, Kadisha, is there not beauty even in bloodthirstiness?
My thought exactly. There is beauty in the bellow of the blast. There is grandeur in the growling of the gale. There is eloquent outpouring when a lion is roaring and a tiger is lashing of his tail.
Yes, I like to see a tiger from the Congo or the Niger, and especially the lashing of its tail.
Volcanoes have a splendor that is grim, and earthquakes only terrify the dolts. But to earth and scientific, there is nothing that's terrific in the falling of a flight of thunderbolts.
Yes, in spite of all my meekness, if I have a little weakness, it's a passion for a flight of thunderbolts. That is so sing Danny down Danny, it's evident that our tastes are one. Away we'll go and merrily, merry not tardily, tarry till day is done. There's beauty in extreme old age, fancy what else enough. Information I'm requesting on a subject interesting. Is the maiden all the better if she's tough?
Well, it's my opinion, there's the general opinion that they'll last a good deal longer if she's tough.
Are you old enough to marry, do you think? Don't you wait until you're 80 in the shade. There's a fascination frantic in a room that's romantic. You think you are sufficiently engaged?
I have given some attention, and I think I am sufficiently
If that is so, sing Danny down Danny, it's evident that our tastes are one. Away we'll go and merrily, merry not tardily, tarry till day is done. If that is so, sing Danny down Danny, it's evident.
Now then, we've had a capital lunch and we're quite ready. Have all the painful preparations been made?
Your Majesty, all is prepared.
Then produce the unfortunate gentleman and his two well-meaning but misguided accomplices.
Mercy. Mercy for Coco. Mercy for Pity Sing.
think I quite caught that remark.
Mercy, even for Pooh-Bah.
Mercy, the man that I was to have married is dead, and so I have married this miserable object.
Oh, you've not been long about it.
Yes, we were married by the registrar.
I'm the registrar.
I see, but my difficulty is, as you have slain the heir apparent.
The heir apparent is not slain.
Bless my heart, my son!
And your daughter-in-law elected.
Traitor!
Yes, yes, yes. You are entitled to a little explanation, but I think you will give it better whole than in pieces.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, it is like this. It is true that I stated that I had killed Nanky Poo.
Yes, with most affecting particulars.
Yes.
Merely cooperative detail intended to give our...
Put in your oar, please! Your Majesty, again. As I was saying, when Your Majesty says, let a thing be done, it's as good as done. Practically it is done, for Your Majesty's will is the law. And so, when Your Majesty says, let a gentleman be killed, a gentleman is taken away to be killed. Consequently, he's as good as dead. Practically he is dead. And if he is dead, why not say so?
I see. I see. Nothing could possibly be more satisfactory.
As one day it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground, and who never would be missed, no, never would be missed. There's interior designers, window dressers, and that sort. Bank robbers who retire to Spain the minute they get caught, and those who have their noses pierced, and men who dye their hair. Born idiots who talk about disc jockeys everywhere, and customs men who fumbling through your underwear insist that none of them be missed. No, none of them be missed.